Hi, my name is Frank, and I'm the Tea Time Traveler. And I'm going to pick one of these things, places I've been, out of there, and it says, oh God, USA. I live 50 kilometers, 30 miles away from the border, between, British Columbia, which is the province I live in, and below it is Washington State. So I have been in the United States multiple times. I've probably been to about 40 of the states, and I've been all around the United States. But I'm going to pick one of these trips, and I busted my wrist on a motorcycle accident, and so I couldn't work. So I had some time off, so I went with my sister to Hawaii. I just kind of tagged along. And we had this like little condo, whatever it was that we had rented, and it was nice, and it was, right down by Honolulu, but in Honolulu, I mean, and not a bad area. It wasn't too bad. So I would just take off on my own and walk around everywhere and just go everywhere, just checking things out, checking beach out, checking some of the malls out, some of the bars out, whatever, So the next day I decided, I'm going to rent a motorcycle. So I go down to rent this motorcycle, and there's a young guy renting a motorcycle there too. And he says, well, let's ride around the island. I said, okay, that sounds like a good idea. So we're just taking off. We're going around the island. And I don't know where we were. Probably the other side of the island or something like that. Anyway, we decided to go for a swim. So we went to the parking lot, left our bikes, ran down the beach. And it was kind of a nice beach, right? We ran in the water and go swimming. I don't know what happened to him. He kind of got lost in his own, doing his own thing over there. But all of a sudden, it was big waves. I had never been in a big wave in my life. I mean, Vancouver doesn't have a real surf at all, right? You got Vancouver Island that buffers it up, right? So I never grew up. I grew up near the ocean and swim in the ocean, but I never been in big waves. And all of a sudden, this wave comes down and it curls and it hits you and drives you down into the sand, and can you roll back, and it pulls you, sucks you back out into the water again, and you're struggling and you get your head up again and it hits you again and knocks you down. The third time I'm finally cluing in, maybe I should get on top of the wave or something like that and ride the wave in. So I guess I lucked out or figured it out or whatever it was. I rode it in there, and honest to God, I was struggling. I thought, Jesus, I'm going to die here, And I get up, and it kind of like takes you right up the beach, and it's kind of sucking you back. So you kind of like almost like trying to stop it from pulling you back into the water again. And so I'm crawling back up, and I felt like Swiss Robinson, whatever, the beach wrecked or something like that, or and he's trying to get up the beach, And I had the sand kind of sticks to you, and I'm kind of a hairy guy, so I got sticky sand all over me. I must have looked like a mummy. And there's three girls sitting on the top of the sand there sunbathing, and they said, "Excuse me." I said, "Yeah, I'm trying to catch my breath because I just had this thing happen to me." And they said, "You lost something." And God, are you kidding me? Right? And it was embarrassing, but that to me wasn't the embarrassing part. The embarrassing part was, I think the water was cold. No, nobody believes me, but I think it was cold. So, you have kind of shrinkage there. And, it was embarrassing, but that to me wasn't the embarrassing part. The embarrassing part was, I think the water was cold. No, nobody believes me, but I think it was cold. So, you have kind of shrinkage there. So that was the embarrassing part. Anyway, so I go up, and the other guy, he comes out of the water or whatever. He seemed like he had an okay time. And we get back on our bikes and we start riding away. And I thought, oh, this is crazy, I mean, really, literally thought I was going to die there. And if there was like rocks under me when you're rolling in there, I think I would have had it, right? Anyway, there's a girl sitting at the bus stop. So I'm not sure, I asked her directions or something. So I pulled up and started talking to her and said, hey, we're looking for a place to get something to eat or something like that. And she says, oh, there's a pub down the road, and about a mile down the road or so, or 2 miles out, I can't remember now. And I'll show you. And so she hops on the back of my bike and she takes me there, right? And we're talking, we're having something to eat, and she sat down with us, she's eating and asking us where we're from and everything like that. And then all of a sudden she's like, stands up quickly. I said, oh, what's the matter? What's the matter? She says, well, I was meeting my boyfriend. So, well, okay. Do you need a ride? Did you go out of your way or something like that? She says, no, not really. I'm about 4 blocks away. I can just go down there 4 blocks away. I thought, oh, okay, no problem. So we're riding around the island and everything, and it's beautiful sections and coves and stuff like that. And, you can go snorkeling and all that kind of stuff. And we get back and we take the bikes back. And he suggests that let's go for a drink later tonight. I said, I'm game. So I meet him at this place where somebody told us we can meet there, and which wasn't that far. And we decided to go to a bar for a drink. But you go down the steps, and there was a young girl standing at the bottom of the steps, and we kind of came up behind her. And the waiter comes over and says, table for 3. And I said, no, actually, she's not with us. And she said, no, it's okay. It's no problem at all. So we sit down, we're talking, actually. And the other guy, he's kind of liking her. He's talking a lot, right? He's like trying to pick her up, I guess. Anyway, so we're talking away and stuff like that. And he goes to the washroom. And I'm sitting there, and I unfortunately talk with my hands sometimes, and I hit the glass when I'm talking to her, and it spills on her dress. Honest to God, she freaks out. She just goes ballistic and is yelling at me and stuff like that. Well, I had an accident, but okay. And the other guy comes back, and just before that happened with the drinks, she had notified me that she was working. So he comes back and he said, what happened? I said, well, I knocked the drink on her, unfortunately, and stuff like that. So she went to the washroom to get cleaned up too, right? And he said, and I said to her, that she's a working girl. And he said, well, first he said, what do you mean? I said, well, what do you mean? What does a working girl in a bar or on the street at night do? Right? Anyway, so he figures it out. And he says, no, I can't believe it. I said, well, that's what she told me, right? I said, look, I think I'm getting a little bit too much to drink. I mean, obviously, I knocked the drink on her, so I'm going to call it a night. You can stay here, have fun, do whatever you want. So I'm walking up the stairs, and I go back onto the street, and then I'm walking, and I'm standing at the light, and actually a young girl, she was probably about, she said she was 18, but to be honest, I don't think she was 18. But anyway, she's sitting there, and now this is 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that on the street. And I thought, it's pretty late for you, isn't it? And she said, do you know where Church's Chicken is? I said, no, not really. I mean, I'm not from here, so I don't know where Church's Chicken is. She said, well, do you know where the girls stand? I said, yes, because they were about a couple blocks from where I stayed. I said, yeah, I can show you where they are. So we started walking that way. And that, now I think about it, I was in the area where a lot of prostitutes were, and so that's why we were meeting them, I guess. Anyway, so she confides in me in the 3 blocks that I were walking that she came from Portland, Oregon, and that she's only been there about a day, and that she's not going to work in the cold in Oregon. She might as well work in a hot place, since her kind of business, you can travel with it. I said, yeah, sounds like smart, right? And that's why her age came up, actually, too, because when she was saying that, how old do you think I am? I said, I don't know, 17? And she said, no, I'm 18. But to be honest, I don't think she was. She just came across a little bit younger than that, but she wanted to be 18 so that there wouldn't be any problems. And I said, well, you have fun. I'm going to go. And I went back to the place. And the next day, we hopped on the plane and we're flying back to Vancouver. And this rolling in the water is like really bright in my head. I mean, it's like there. And then there's an elderly lady sitting beside me on the plane, and she said, I told her the story that I felt like I just about died in the water. And she said, yes, I've come to Hawaii quite often. She's from someplace in eastern United States or something like that. She said, I come here all the time. And she says, yes, I've heard. And she was at one beach, she said, where a young girl went too far into the water and it kind of sucked her out a little bit. And this guy went to pull her out, and then he was having trouble. So the lifeguards pulled him out, and he was okay, but she said the ambulance came and they didn't see her. I don't know if they revived her or not, so and stuff like that. But if you're not used to that kind of surf, you got to watch yourself, man. See that, because, and probably tourists too. There's, like me, guys that don't know what the hell they're doing and going in some stupid big wave and don't realize that it's so dangerous, right? And so I could see that. That was vivid in my mind, that I couldn't get rid of it, right? And still now. Anyway, so if you like this video, hit the like and subscribe, and till the next one.